tie was sorted out.
It came down to Scunthorpe's Ian Helliwell versus Rotherham's Billy Mercer. Mercer saved, and a replay that had finished 3-all was now 6-all in the shootout. The pressure transferred to Ali Pickering. His nerve held, and Rotherham became the first club to win an FA Cup tie on penalties. A postman and a lorry driver combined to put Telford through at the expense of Stoke, there in the stripes. Ian Benbow reacted fastest to Tim Langford's through ball, and that was 1-0. 10 minutes from time, the Vauxhall Conference side were still ahead. Then came Carl Beeston's blast from 30 yards. Odds on extra time, you'd have thought. But almost at once, the postman knocked and the truck driver delivered. The Langford-Benbow combination had won the match. Next stop for Telford, Wrexham. "13 minutes had gone when Crewe in red scored the opening goal against Carlisle. Steve Walters measured left foot. At 3-0, it looked a formality, but not to Carlisle. When Tony Fife's shot was deflected in, it was 3 apiece, and they had to slug it out for an extra half hour. The decisive moment came when Crewe's Tony Naylor sold his man the double dummy for 4-3. A late own goal for 5-3 sealed a second-round tie at home to Chester. Hereford in white had been the first league team to play at Atherstone in the FA Cup, and they could only draw 0-0. Back at Edgar Street last night, Steve Lowndes set about putting that into perspective. Most of the game was played 10-a-side after 2 early sendings off. It was Hereford's 10 who took charge. Simon Brain scored twice in the last 20 minutes. 3-0 to Hereford. Windsor in red and Woking in yellow know each other well from the Deodora League. Having lost each other at 1-all in the Fog 10 days ago, they came up with 6 goals at Stag Meadow last night. That was Sean Gilman putting Windsor ahead. But after reaching the 4th round last season, Woking have developed a taste for the FA Cup. Steve Milton equalised. After they'd fallen behind again, Woking forced a second equaliser. Fullback Stuart Mitchell following up after his first effort was blocked on the line. Windsor didn't capitulate easily. Derek Walters was cruelly unlucky to deflect Mark Biggin's shot into his own net. It ended Windsor 2, Woking 4. Yellow-shirted Farnborough, surprise packages of this season's conference, were much too good for Halesowen Town of the Beezer Homes League. That was Simon Reed's first goal in one of the easiest hat-tricks he'll ever get. Halesowen's goalkeeper has to be debited with an assist for Reed's second. And then Reed was allowed 3 touches to settle himself in front of goal for the third. 4-0 to Farnborough at the end. They are now away to Torquay. The crucial difference between Gillingham in blue and 3rd Division pacemakers Brentford was striker Dean Holdsworth. That was his 20th of the season for 1-0. In the second half, he headed in powerfully to make it 2-0. The final score was Gillingham 1, Brentford 3, and in the second round, Brentford... It was a missed penalty at Turf Moor that condemned Burnley to a replay at Doncaster, there in white. Determination not to take no for an answer gave Steve Harper the chance to put Burnley ahead tonight. That's 1-0. Just on half-time, Doncaster equalised. Billy Whitehurst on hand for the tap-in. But in the second half, John Francis pulled the ball back for Steve Harper to loop in his second. And with Roger Eli adding a late third, Burnley claim a home date with Rotherham in round 2. Kettering in red overcame their Vauxhall Conference rivals Wycombe Wanderers by the shortest route. Goalkeeper to opposing net, 3 touches. Phil Brown applying the last one. The visitors then sealed their right to a second-round tie at Maidstone. Jonathan Graham scored their second 7 minutes from time. Slough in yellow had scored twice in stoppage time to earn a trip to Elm Park tonight, but they fell behind when Reading's Adrian Williams converted Steve Richardson's pass after only 6 minutes. With only one home win all season, Reading needed the reassurance of Steve Lovell's second goal. And that was enough. Francis Joseph's goal for Slough came too late. Reading now visit Peterborough. Halifax in sky blue were taken into extra time by Witton, and then Carl Thomas gave the conference team the lead. He got the credit for the header in off the bar. Andy Grimshaw was denied his claim to that one, but nobody argued when he shot past Jonathan Gould from 12 yards. It ended Halifax 1, scorer Nick Richardson, Witton 2. Halifax's 12th defeat by non-league opponents in 25 ties, Witton's first ever over a Football League team. The kick-off was delayed at Rochdale to satisfy all those who wanted to see if Gretna in the hoops could make a bit more history. Alex Jones' header, after a quarter of an hour, dented Scottish hopes. Andy Milner soon made it 2-0, and when in the second half Andy Flounders ran through to score Rochdale's third, the writing was on Hadrian's wall. Gretna hit the woodwork 3 times in the second half, but their only consolation was a late Alan Carruthers goal. 3-1 to Rochdale, who are now at home to Huddersfield. Nil-nil in extra time at Walsall, where Yeovil in the stripes had cause for a double celebration. Substitute Richard Cooper's goal earned a trip to Woking. Yeovil equalled Altringham's record of 14 victories against Football League opponents.